Okay, so I'm going to show you part 2 of this, where you actually do that animated text effect where the picture goes within the words. So first you need to have done this, where in Google Drawings you downloaded this as a PNG file to both whatever words you created and the Green Falcon logo. So I had both of these downloaded. Now I'm going to get them into WeVideo. So to get them into WeVideo, you just go to Import, you go to Browse to Select, and then you find those images. So mine's already here. I'm not going to show you how to do that. What you would need to do is in your news intro, what you would do is add a new layer so that you have a blank layer to do this on top of your video edits, and then drag it down. And when you drag it down, you're going to need to do the Chroma Key Effect. So to do the Chroma Key Effect, you double click on this, or another way is you can click right here, takes you to that same place. You would go to color keying, which is right here. You would select your color, so you go to your dropper and you click on it. Then you come over here, and when your cursor is the dropper, click on the green and it drops out that green. And then you would go ahead and hit save. Now that just does the chroma key effect. That doesn't do the animation. The animation is actually what looks pretty cool and adds creativity to this. So you would, to do an animation, double click on it. And then this is your animate tab right here. And as you can see, there's start and end animation. It's totally up to you how you animate it. You know, you determine what looks good. I personally liked it being zoomed in really far as the start, and then the end is where it came out like this. Now, you don't want to come out too far because then it cuts off your frame. And that's kind of why I didn't want you guys to make a huge word art over in Google Drawings, because that's less of a frame. So as you can see, I don't have much of a frame here. Again, that might be why you want to do this. If you have to redo your Google Drawing and re-download it, you could do that. Again, you really don't know what it's going to look like until you get it in here. So, okay, ending animation, I'm going to keep it like right here. Click on Save Changes and then play it back. And there's that animated effect. Now, if you make your text layer longer, it's going to be a slower, more drawn out effect and animation. You might not want it to be too long because then it just doesn't really look good. Like, that's way too drawn out and dramatic. So again, you determine what looks good. Now, what some people have been doing, I've noticed that they had different things coming on here, like Let's Go Falcons or Connellsville in one layer area, and then middle school. You can do that. You would just need to make separate drawing PNG downloads. Again, it's totally up to you how you do this. With the Falcon bird, you can again put that wherever you want. Double click it, go to your chroma key, select your color, drop out the green, and then you determine how you animate this. So whenever you go to animate it, again, it can zoom in, zoom out, depending on what you want. Now, you can also do fade effects on this. So to do a fade effect, you just click on that second marker for your opacity, do a dropout point, like I usually do mine towards the end. So that's where it starts to fade, and then this is where your ending fade's going to be. So it'd be like this, and then it gradually fades back in. You can do fade in, fade out, both of those, whatever you would like for that. I did not do my animation here. Again, I want to do mine zoomed in kind of far to see the falcon, and then zoom out like that. Play it. There it goes. Pretty cool effect. So one more really cool effect that you would do, now you would have to go back and do this in Google Drawings, is something that makes your effect have a glow to it. This is what it looks like. So as you can see here, there is a blue glow around that falcon. And then I went back and actually did that to my font here. I changed that to say Falcons. I thought that looked pretty sweet. How you would do that is in Google Drawings. You'd have to go back to your image. You would add a format option, drop shadow. And when you play around with your drop shadow, like the transparency, the angle, the distance, and then the blur radius, that's how you can actually make that drop shadow effect come out. Now, if you don't have a blur radius, it's literally just a drop shadow like that. So to do that glow, that's where you play around with your blur radius. You can also go in and do, for your word art anyway, you could add a border to it if you wanted to do like a white border that might be like 3 pixels or so. just to, again, make it stand out a little bit. When you go to download that as a PNG, when you go to import it, it'll just add a little bit of texture to this. I'm going to just drag that in and see what it looks like with the blue glow and the white trim around it. Again, I would need to double click that and then go to my chroma key out the green. That's looking kind of sweet. Let's check it out. All right, now we actually have Falcon Blue and white. We just need to go back in and animate that. So I want my starting animation to be like all the way in. Again, totally up to you how you animate it. But personally, I kind of like this. I like how it looks. It's up to you where you put this in your news intro. And again, how many actual text effects you want to have on there and how you want the falcon bird to look as well. So just get creative with this, have some fun, explore. And there's nothing you need to turn in today for this, but just explore a little bit, get creative, have fun.